What up? What up, folks? We already got 3 folks here. That's freaking exciting. I love that. Um, we'll let the chat show. Let me do it this way. How do I do this? Um, yeah, there we go. What's up, folks? Now your chat should show when you have things to say, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So let me know how folks are doing today. Who's in the place? Let me just open one other thing too here. I'm live. It should see me as live. And if this doesn't work, I'll just open up a new window and go to stream place there. Don't understand why the app isn't working. Anyway, yeah, we'll go to my live dashboard. All right. Well, we're live, so let's get into it. Let me just post here. Always like 14 places you want to post to let people know that you're live. All right. Got folks in over here? I don't know. Just always trying to find all of the things to share with folks. So I just want to post about it. There we go. You've also got access to um, the Forge LLMs module. Let's do it. I think we'll probably start with what we were working on last week. Oh, cool. That's fun. We'll close that. And yeah. Well, if anybody else is around in the chat, please do say hi. I know that the chat sometimes doesn't work as well as we want it to. So if that's the case, like, just holler. Let me go check it on YouTube and make sure that things look good over there, because we have run into that problem before. And I don't want us to be in that spot. So let's go over here. Let's hit our live event. Let's see who's here. Nobody, just me. Well, oh, okay. There we go. Hey, folks, maybe I have to pop over into the chat for some reason for it to work. Okay, I see you now. That's wonderful. Excellent. I don't understand how all of this works all the time, but we're all here. Okie dokie. Excellent. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Cassandra. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on today. Let's see what if Atlassian made any particularly fun announcements this past week. Let's go to the community. Actually, let's do something else. Let me take a quick moment here. And while we're chatting, how you guys doing? Oh, Tawheed, excellent, wonderful. I'm doing well. Let me just come over here and I'm going to get into Claude here. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you just join, oh, that's because you're in LinkedIn. Absolutely. If you pop over to YouTube, you can also check YouTube out. It's definitely an option to see there. Um, all righty. Yeah, what are folks thinking? Where are you? What are you all interested in talking about today? Anything in particular? Okay. I'm going to check to see whether all of my stuff loaded for the roundup. So let me just grab that. And while that's happening, I do want to share with y'all that this week, man, too many places to check work right. Okay. Oh, cool. Welcome, Cassandra. I mean, welcome to the Atlassian Clinic, where we cover a bunch of fun Atlassian stuff all of the time. And I'm just getting a moment here to check whether we've got a draft from this week. We do not. So I'm waiting for a draft to be fired and make sure that I can get the updates in here. I've been building an automation to run this process, and it doesn't always quite work the way that I want it to. So I'm trying to use that to grab the information on what has worked this week. Basically what has happened this week. But until that happens, let's go ahead and hit the community. So let me share my screen here. Here we go, friends. Let's get started, and let's make this a window that actually works for everyone. Oh, wow. Very weird. There we go. Okay. Well, oh, I'm in the wrong window. That's why. Too many windows, too. That's another problem that I have. Okay. Anybody over here? Oh, Captain Calliope. Welcome. Welcome. We got somebody over on Streamplace, which is exciting. It just means that I currently have so many windows open. It's wild. So let me just reorganize some things. Ah, I made that too big. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then here, cool. So we're going to switch. Yeah, this one. Here we go. Okay, let's see what came up this past week in the forums. What's been hot and fancy? Okay. This is a big one. Agents in Jira, friends. That's been hot topic this week. So, what does this mean? This means that Atlassian has launched the ability for us to have agents in Jira, which is pretty cool. Yeah, where was I? That's interesting. Oh, switch. Yep. I'm gonna and then that's that. But then what we want to do is make this big. But then it makes me go away. That's so fascinating. Okay, well you just don't get me. That's okay. Um, so agents in Jira now in open beta. You can now assign things directly to your agents in Jira. That means that you can work with them, you can mention them in comments and run them directly in your workflows. So you can assign work directly to agents. So that means that like you can have them pick up the context from your work item and then the agent does work right there. That's wild. Need a quick assist? Summarize a thread? Suggest a fix or help draft an update? Just mention the agent in a comment. That's really going to change the way a lot of people are working. I think traditionally what we've done is we've had agents in Jira who were uh, primarily you couldn't like you had to do something extra with the agent. Here it's just like being a teammate. You don't have to do anything extra. You can also put them in a workflow, so when you move them through a workflow transition, you can also have the agent automatically take action. We'll take a moment here and we're going to go ahead and we'll go over that in a little bit. They've also got the GitHub Copilot coding agent, so they're working with other agent providers. So I'm sure that like Claude will come shortly. Um, Lots of really interesting things that we can do. You can add an agent, add the agent for work items, and start collaborating. This is a big deal, and I'm surprised that more people haven't commented on this. Oh, this is just 2 hours ago. Okay, we will check that out today. Okay, so that's a big one. That's an open beta, so anybody can go sign up for that today. Um, don't like make sure to check that out. Um, let's see what else here. And also, folks, if you have a problem that you need help with, let me know, and we'll dig into it right now. Whatever it is, that's part of the way this works. You got a problem, we solve it. Lastly, Bitbucket just released a new Bitbucket Data Center has a new LTS release. So merge queues, mobile UI, and a better integration with Jira Cloud. Pretty cool. Check it out if that's a thing that you need. If you're working with with Bitbucket Data Center. Um, what else we got here? Um, let's see here. What else we got here? What's been going on? let's keep going. Let's see what else is happening in the space. All right, forward momentum. Atlassian's got, this is really cool. They're doing a bunch of stuff in their cloud migration program right now. So they're running a bunch of these incredible migration webinars. Change management, custom onboarding, Jira 101, Confluence 101, JSM 101. Your meetings need a makeover. I recommend that folks check these out because it's important that you're always sort of caught up with all the things that you're looking and what's happening in the environment. So these are things that you can really do that will help you keep up with a lot of what's going on. Atlassian's also released new versions of the Data Manager client for JSM assets, and they need all customers to upgrade to version 2.0.0 or later by August 31st, 2026. Make sure that you do that. That's really important. You don't want to miss that because I think things are not going to work after that. Yep, they're going to, let's see here. This is for locally stuff work. This will be on Atlassian's trusted data platform. So make sure that you follow these instructions to go ahead and upgrade that. If you have more questions, go here and comment on this ticket or this post. Jens did something fun. Somebody was like, he built a Confluence macro a day. Webinars on data center migrations. I think they're primarily data center to cloud migrations. But that's a good point, Cassandra. Are you guys dealing with cloud to cloud migrations? Let me know. And I think also I'm going to be able to now see the newsletter that I wanted to grab before. Let me see here. Yeah. Got it. So we're going to switch to this page I've got over here. Maybe. Too many windows again. Cloud to cloud migrations. I don't know how much Atlassian does in terms of webinars for that, but it's definitely a thing I think that we can put on the docket. I would be happy to run some cloud to cloud migration webinars because, oh, you're doing a lot. Okay. Talk to me more about the ones that you're doing. Are you doing cloud to cloud migrations in between organizations? Is that what's happening? I can imagine that would be pretty difficult. Okay, let me go ahead and swap to the new page. Here we go. This is my newsletter that I send out every week, the unofficial Atlassian ecosystem roundup. So the important things that we've got in the roundup today, though, are actually, and this is going to go sort of, this is just from this week. So we picked up some additionally new stuff from going and hitting the community. So we'll actually do that again just to make sure here. Forums, get in there. We want, that's wild. Now there's two things. I don't even understand how some of this works, but it's magic. Okay, cool. Here we go. Yeah, tell me more about those as you hear what I was talking about. That'll be cool. I'd love to know. But let's get back into these different ones that we're dealing with here. Jens wrote an article about how he built a Confluence macro in a day. This company, they've acquired several other companies. Oh, yeah. Right. And share some of the things you're running into. That would be great to hear. Creating sandboxes for new ventures, then migrating them to a live. Mm, that's complex. Um, Particularly because sandboxes aren't really meant to be used that way. So you're either creating a new site and then pulling stuff out and then moving it over, or just working with a sandbox and then trying to put it into a whole new site. That is complex. Um, that's interesting. Okay. Let's see if anybody's doing cloud to cloud migration webinars. Um, they're not. Yeah, they're probably not. They're probably mainly focused on straight cloud migration. But um, yeah, I think that's something we could put some time together. Like, why don't we? In fact, if you can come back next week, we can do a spotlight on cloud to cloud migrations. That could be really fun. Oh, more shadow IT orgs that you need to migrate under the correct main org. Oh my gosh. We can okay, so what we can do is we can actually we can demo that out. I can demo that out for you next week. If that would be helpful. We can put that on the list. I want to have a little bit of time to practice to do that. But we can actually go through that and I can show you sort of how we can talk through some of the problems you're having. So why don't you give me a list of, if you want to put it in the chat, you can, but like I'd love to get a list of things that you're running into in terms of issues, and then we can, yeah, absolutely. So you can reach me. Let me drop this email in because I don't really care if it gets a lot of spam. Clinic. There we go. Use that email address and shoot me a list of the questions that you've got, and we'll cover them next week in the clinic. That's something we can absolutely do. What's this? First class citizen. This is somebody writing about how Atlassian Forge. Interesting. Meh, not so important to us. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Yes. Hey, check this out actually. Because just I actually helped work on this, but it's pretty cool. If you use Loom or you want to know more about Loom, check out the new Loom Fundamental Certificate. It's now available. It doesn't cost you anything, no special browser, just a free open book way to show what you can do with Loom. Loom is really amazing. It's one of my favorite tools that Atlassian has, and they've now got a free certificate to show you to show that like you know how Loom works. So check that out. Um, Atlassian's got the new create with Rovo thing in Confluence Cloud. We can look at that today. Um, Atlassian is working on some research for users with goals. So check that out. And then Atlassian is putting in support for OpenSearch 3 inside Data Center. That's a big deal if you're still using Data Center. Check that out. Um, let's see. Atlassian's going to have new API rate limits. Important to know about this, and actually, it's really important. This is in App Central, but you guys should know about this too. Um, Somebody's always writing an AI post of all this stuff. There's a point pool with systems, and there could be things that happen that would mean that you wouldn't be able to see. Oh, this is because you don't get to see it, but really you shouldn't have to worry about this. Technically, your app folks should be worrying about it, and I'm not sure that entire sites actually share a point budget. That may be incorrect. I'm going to check here. Let's look here. Because my understanding is that the rate limiting is happening uh, right. It's a global pool across all tenants, or there's a per tenant pool. She's incorrect. If you're in a tier two per tenant pool, and this is, yeah, that's incorrect. You shouldn't have to worry about any of this. They wrote some things incorrect. Don't worry about this. I'm going to have to go back to that and make a note that it's just a poor, incorrect instruction. Um, what else here? Ooh, Atlassian's made some improvements to work linking and focus. If you use focus, very few people do. It's at the enterprise level, part of the strategy collection. You can check that out. Um, let's see. Oh, color enhancements are now live in Jira Product Discovery. So this lets you organize your ideas by color. I think we have a couple more folks that have joined, or maybe one person. That's great. Welcome, welcome. Please shout it out when you're here. Um, what else we got here from Atlassian? Ah, yes, you can now export up to 10,000 work items in Jira Cloud through CSV and Excel. That's pretty amazing. They've also updated the Jira Business Project timeline if you work in business projects in the cloud. Um, so you can now roll things up and you can do field columns. So better ways to show things here. This roll up status here, right here, I think you can see shows sort of how it's like half and through there. And then as you scroll through, it helps keep things visible. Um, so this is intriguing the way that they're building these. They're also doing field columns so you can edit the fields in line. This is a lot like the plans view in Jira Data Center. March 31st, Atlassian is doing a new global summit. Actually, it looks like. Ooh, teamwork in an AI era. I would recommend that you check this out. If you're thinking about improving ways of working, this one is for you. The custom onboarding contest continues to go on, which is really exciting. Also, what else here? Let's see. Lots of app centrals. Um, the new field schemes. Atlassian has posted a fact and a reference guide. So this will hit any of us, any of you that are working with in Jira Cloud. Atlassian's rolling out new field schemes. This is to simplify things between screen. So this is to get rid of field configuration schemes and um, going to more standard stuff. Yeah, that's a really good point. Um, so you can learn more about field schemes. I'll show you over here about field schemes. Just a moment. Here we go. Um, you're getting rid of field configurations. So field schemes will go directly to spaces. You put fields in a field scheme, and those fields are available in spaces. So instead of using field configurations and then using field configurations that are tied to a space, we're dropping out the middle one here and just going straight into field schemes. Atlassian has put a bunch of RFCs out here to talk about how the APIs work. Hey, girls. Um, and so the goal here is that you don't have to do all of that. The field scheme are much simpler, and the open beta has now launched. So you can now find out more information about the open beta here, and how to join the open beta. And they're also going to be doing new UI, and they're also recommending using a sandbox. Yes, absolutely, Cassandra. I am working on a website for all of this, just not quite there yet. Tomorrow is RovoCon Austin. Also, don't miss these admin tips that Kristen is doing in the Jira Cloud admins group here. So great information about how to do. This is like a really great, like, every week I think they're dropping a new volume of these tips for admins. I think that takes us back to the previous week. It's been a little quiet of a March, I think. Yeah, this week has been, well, I guess it's been a little bit quiet, yeah. Well, the 25th to the 28th. Okay. We can go a few more days. Aaron wrote this. Right, we looked at that last week because it would have been a week ago Wednesday. Yep. Oh, right. We talked about authentication via API token for the MCP server. We did. And the updates to the data lake and new insights and charts for focus areas and user permissions for Rovo agents. Those are all really good things that are happening there. Yep, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Um, well, here's a good one for you, actually, Cassandra. There is now cloud to cloud data transfer for Jira product discovery spaces. Let me drop that one in for you. What else? Uh, we're going to come back to this one because I want to chat with you all about it because we actually worked on it last week. Um, let's see here. Anything else? Hey, another one for you, Cassandra. Paid research opportunity for Atlassian admins using sandboxes, which sounds like you based on what you said. So don't lose that. The Rovo MCP server now includes JSM tools. Object.name now returns the name attribute for assets Excellent. Okay. And they're doing more PDF formatting. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff that was happening here. We didn't get all the way back to this actually, truthfully, because we came upon something really fun last week, and that was this. This idea for JSM: make sentiment priority a real native feature, not just a hint. So Atlassian had introduced sentiment in Confluence or in Jira today. Let's find it. Hold on. Customer sentiment in okay. Customer sentiment. Jira Service Management Cloud. So today you can see customer sentiment analysis. It shows that it is either positive, neutral, or negative. And you can turn it on for premium or enterprise customers with more actions and then space settings. And then you select features, and then you can turn on customer sentiment analysis. And to see it, you go to queues, and then you select the work item. And under details, you go to the sentiment field. Now, this article calls out the idea that this isn't enough. Just a random sentiment there is just like a nice signal on the ticket. It doesn't give you more information like a banner or additional actions that an admin could do. Like if a sentiment stays negative for 2 customers' replies, set priority to high and notify the right queue/on call. Um, and he talked about some things that he would want here, which would be a lot of escalations uh, aren't impact urgency issues at first, they're frustration issues. And making sure that one is frustration, the other one is a real issue. And he wanted some things: confidence threshold, only analyze customer side content so you don't get internal notes, show what triggered the sentiment, and make it an opt in for project and request type. No silent changes unless explicitly configured. And we talked about this last week. We talked about it, and then we said, why don't we vibe code this thing that this guy wanted? And so we spent time last week building that. And what I'm going to show you today is the thing that we built. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get into it. Okay. Let me switch to the other screen. There's too many of these now. There we go. Cool. So now we're going to go in here. I think we went into here. And let's go look at our apps. We want to go to Jira Service Management. Okay, and the spaces that we've got here. IT requests. We created this. This might be old. Testing for comments. When was this? When was this? Oh, this is the one I was building for translation. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to go see the portal. All right. Okay. So let's turn on the native sentiment thing that we just talked about. Okay. So how do we turn on the customer sentiment here? Customer sentiment, we turn that on by going to our space here. Oh, hold on. Space settings. And then we choose, oh, wait, hold on. What does this say? Does it say premium? Of course. Right, you have to activate AI for Jira Service Management first. Okay, cool. We're going to go to my other site that actually has premium on it. We're going to go to WorkRight LLC and Jira Service Management. Here's where we were, I think. Service management, yeah, I think we made this last week. Brats. And we don't really want the space settings for Brats. We want to go out of the space settings to the space itself. Oh, come on. There we go. Why can't I create issues in this project? Oh, I mean, I know why. I am literally, what is going on here? I'm an administrator. Oh, there's no email there though. There we go. Okay, I should understand this. Oh, interesting. There's some things that are going weird here. So let's check out what's going on here. Why don't I have access to this? Huh. See if we can get this created here. Things are acting a little wonky over here. But here, okay, yeah, we add all of those. Cool. Continue to the space. No, we're not going to edit the request types. We're going to create a request. It says test. Okay, actually, before we do this, as an admin, let's go in here and display settings. And then now, how do we turn this on? Space settings under features, under work item view, suggestions is on. Huh. Oh, well, hold on. Let's just check one other thing. Huh. It should be in there. Let's go check out our. We're going to hit the admin portal again because what's happening here, interestingly enough, is that I'm not seeing the AI sentiment options that we should be seeing. So let me make sure that everything's set up correctly here. JSM Service Collection Premium, absolutely. Okay, AI settings. It's enabled in all of these. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that's a whole lot of extra things right there. I don't understand why. We have all of this stuff connected. I don't need to do any of that stuff. AI is enabled for Jira Service Management. Huh. Let's pick some things to make it happy. That's fun. Cool. Okay, so theoretically now, in Jira Service Management, ooh, we are seeing a few more things now. So let's see here. Space settings, features, features. There we go. Customer sentiment analysis. There we go. So that's how we turn on sentiment analysis. So let's see what this looks like. All right, let's go ahead and create a portal. So we've got a portal here. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let's put that in. All right, let's go check out what this shows now on the other side, okay? Let's see. Do we have anything about customer sentiment right now? There's a suggestion. All right, in queues, select the work item. Under details, in the right-hand panel, go to the sentiment field. Huh. We don't see it, do we, friends? Interesting. This is basically what it's like to use Atlassian tools, and I know you all know this. Because constantly we're playing the game of where is the thing that should be where I expected it to be. But this is a great. Let's see if we can find it. Aha! There we go. Let's add it to the screen. Scheme. They didn't tell us we'd have to do all this. Bad documentation. Okay. And back to where we were. See if it shows up here now. No, oh yeah, there it is, sentiment. Look at that. There we go. So that's what it shows us. Now, let me show you what we built. Okay, we're going to switch briefly over to, let me add another window here. All right, so we deployed, let me remember how to use the Forge install command. So Forge install. There we go. Forge install. What if I just type that? I never know what it's going to tell me. Okay. Let's get out of here. Now I'll do it here. Forge install. And we're going to use this URL for the site that we're on, which is that site is, I have to find my site. There we go. That is makeworkbetter.atlassian.net. Okay, so we'll come back here. And we'll type that in here. Here's all of the permissions we're going to have. It's now installed. So let's go take a look at it, huh? Let's go big here. Okay, let's see here. Apps. I manage apps. Okay. Cool. So here's our app. Okay, so what should we see on the screen? Ah, here we go. So what we have to do first is we need to enable sentiment analysis for this app. So we come here, enable sentiment analysis. Cool. So here's what we get to do. We can say only act on sentiment classifications above a certain level, suggest only, or auto escalate. When we escalate, we want to escalate it to a higher priority. Let's do that, okay? Now let's go back. Here we go. So right now, no sentiment information, right? Let's go make another comment as the customer. All right. Here we go. Okie doke. Let's see here. All right, we're running into some issues here. Well, let's check something, because we can do this too. Let's go to, here we go. Ooh, check it out. Oh, interesting. Okay. However, I'm not getting information back. Client errors right here. 404 not found. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, but these aren't 404 errors. That's interesting. Of course. Excellent. Looking forward to it. Let me make sure we've got MCP installed here. Yeah, it's not here. We were working someplace else then. We must have been in here. And let's choose a different folder here. But yeah. And make sure our Forge MCP is connected. Cool. Oh, let me share this other screen. Hey, Susan. Good, Susan. Good. Working on some stuff. It's the wrong window again. Hold on. Let me switch the window. We built this last week, JSM AI sentiment. So we're working on there we go. We're going to add some more better logging. So we built this thing off of, let me show you what we did last week, Susan. We built, what we did was we found this article in um, in somebody's, here we go. Somebody wrote this thing here. And the whole purpose of the article was basically talking about the customer sentiment function in Confluence or in Jira service management and how it could be better. And oh, that's me. That's not even the thing. This is very difficult. There we go. That's what I want. I want to make that whole thing bigger. There we go. That's the button. Now we got it. Okay. So in JSM, there's a default way to see these customer sentiment. And what we wanted to do was make it better. So we can see here that we can see on this right here, we can see the customer sentiment right here, right? But it's not a clear signal. And so this gentleman had written this article in the community. Um, Here it was. He was talking about making it better, right? Making make some controlled actions so that it would automatically update the priority in certain situations, and have a confidence threshold and some of the other things. So we wanted to use the Forge LLMs module, but last week I didn't have access to it. Well, this week I do. So we've been working with that. And the process here now is that with Claude, what we're doing right now is I'm having it add some more error handling because we were getting failed uh, failed interactions, failed API calls. So we're fixing it here. So that's what we're working on right now. Let me see if I can take these two, and there's the customize option here. Hold on, customize. Bring these over to the side. There we go. And now I should be able to make this a big. I don't know why they disappear when that happens. It's very frustrating. Huh. Oh, but I can just click over like this. Oh, source not visible when another is met. Yeah, exactly. That, yeah, you commented on it actually. This is the one that you commented on. So that's what we were working on and building last week. Oh, and here I can just switch between them. Nice. Hey, figured it out. Okay, so now I'm going to let Claude. Well, we did deploy, we still need to do a forge install. For the CLI, I can't remember. Okay, just a code change. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and trigger the error by adding a comment response. So let's switch back to the work we were doing over here. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Portal. There we go. So now that we've triggered that by adding a comment, we should see that comment show up here. So now what we want to do is we're going to get the logs to pull back. Yeah, and I'll show you what we actually did, Susan. So I built an app called Sentiment Priority. And if we go into the space settings here, this is what we built. Yeah, it's still not pulling. We can see here, however, we can see in the metrics API. Interesting. Um, I don't know if we got any more. Huh. Are we no longer seeing those issues? But I'm not seeing, oh, 2 success total. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So we're seeing some successes now. We go into development here. Okay, there we got a 200 here. Okay, that's good. So now what we should see is, let's see. It's still not showing sentiment analysis. I'm not sure why. So yeah, we're currently just sort of working on why it's not pulling us the information that we want. Interesting. So we're letting Claude figure that out for us. But the goal here is, hey, actually, Tawheed, this is a thing. So I'm now working full time in a DC environment. So this is a thing that I really want to do. Is actually do some DC stuff too, because yeah, we still need some of this. We can't use the same APIs from Atlassian, so we'll have to roll our own stack, right? You'll have to use your own LLM. You'll have to plug into those things, but there's no reason we can't do it. Like there really isn't a reason we can't do it. We should be able to do that with uh, what is in the data center development kit, the SDK. Okay, so now version 2.2 should be deployed. So let's actually go check that version 2.2 is deployed now. And we can do that by coming over here. And then let's go check our apps here. Uh, how do I find our apps? Nope, that's that stuff. I don't remember where the stuff is anymore. They keep changing things. Um, Manage apps is over here. Apps, manage your apps. Connected apps. What are we having here? JSM. Let's check it here. 2.2. That's what we want. That should be our latest version. Okay, and logs are happening. All of that is going on. Oh yeah. Oh, you work inside the federal government too, Tawheed? And particularly possible a specific one? Anyway, let's add another comment here. Okay. All right, so now it's going to pull back the exact changelog fields that the thing contains. Excellent. We should touch base offline, maybe. Oh, there's probably a delay in the logs. I wonder how long it takes. So you find here some of the limits Ah, dedicated comment events separate from AV1 Jira updated issue. It was using the updated Jira updated for the issue instead of using the comments triggers. There it is. So I think the trick, Tawheed, for what I do here is it's about using the Forge MCP and using that. And one of the things that is an opportunity for us to do is Atlassian is currently, I don't believe, delivering an MCP for um, data center docs, but we could do that. Um, Doing that would allow us to plug Claude into the same sort of code path, like the same sort of thing, and work to capture that information. That would be helpful for us, for all of us still using data center. If we had an MCP for Atlassian's data center API docs. So now it's deploying with the new comment trigger event, which is the correct trigger it should be using instead of what we were using before, which is my fault because I should have taken the time to read the code and then check to make sure that it was the correct uh, event. There's no excuse for that except for me. That was me being lazy last week. Um, and one thing I'll note here, Susan, we could do a lot of work on the UI for this. But my plan here is as soon as this is working, we're going to release it open. I'm going to release it open source so that anybody who wants to use it can. You'll need to get added to the Forge LLM's EAP, but I really want to add to the open source projects that are out there for folks. Okay. Refresh this just to confirm that I got 2.3 in here now. 2.3 is deployed. Cool. All right, here we go again, friends. Okay. Let's see what we get back. Comment works. New error found. Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Well, yeah, we should probably check what are the supported LLMs. So now it's going to pull the page. Yep, there we go. So they retired Claude 3.7. So they're switching to Claude. So now we're updating to go to Haiku 4.4-5. This is incredible. At some point in one of these, it's going to work. And what's really wild is that I could install Claude in Chrome and just let it do the whole thing. I could let it type and flip back all on its own, and we wouldn't have to do anything. Let me see something here too. How big is this thing? That's that. I don't understand. Now, why it wants to make that so big. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. Ah! Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay. That's better. Code only change, no reinstall. All right, how did it go? Let's see. Is it going to give us? Ah, there it goes. Look at that. Hey. Two replies. All right, so if we give it one more, it should trigger. You all ready? Okay, what we want to see here. Oh, and look, there it did it. Now, what I didn't get is, well, 459. No, that's the background one. Like if I refresh, let me see here. It should have two negatives back to back. Yes. Okay, and priority changed up to high. Now, the one thing that I noticed is that the activity log and the priority panel did not update in real time. Is there a way to do that? So now what we can do is we can literally, um, I mean, probably tonight or tomorrow, I'll deploy this. And it'll be, I'll make a comment on that post, Susan, and you'll be able to grab the code and deploy this to your own environment. It's updating a couple things here, which I think it's going to add an internal comment. That's what we missed here because we want to see it add an internal comment that said that it made these actions. Also, the priority change. Interesting. We probably don't want it to say. I guess it's an activity log because the sentiment is negative. I guess that's fine. That makes sense. Yeah, of course. Well, and what's really cool is between last week and this week, we have all of the video of doing it, and I can cut that together and we can share that out too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. Um, who knows? Maybe I'll release it. Maybe I'll do additional work on it and then release it on the App Store. Who knows? But like, I feel like I want to give the basic stuff out to people. It's a pretty cool way to use the Forge LLM's API. Also, by the way, this Friday, Susan, Karen White will be on. Uh, she's the principal product manager for Forge. Oh, and so look, there's a new scope added. So you have to do an upgrade because we know this, which is another thing. Tawheed, we should talk about this too. Uh, and feel free to reach out to me. Um, but I'm going to be starting a new program called Upgrade Your Damn Apps. No problem. Take care, Susan. Cool. Okay, yeah. So that was pretty cool. All right, let me drop one more here. There we go. Priority auto escalated from medium to high. Yep, there we go. We got it. Excellent. Bam. We did it. Look at that. We landed it. Hey, Tawheed, you still around or did you have to run? Let me check. I know somebody just dropped something on LinkedIn, so let me see here. Oh, that was still you. Okay. This has been really fun. I've been having an absolute blast. I mean, we managed to get this working. The one other thing I want to do, I would like the activity log and the sentiment priority to update live if possible. And the activity log to it's planning now. Yeah, the thing about Anthropic is what it is. And I mean, something we can try next week too is let's take a look at OpenAI models. I haven't tried Codex, and that might be a real interesting opportunity there to check out what can happen with it. Real-time events might solve the problem. It's looking up the Forge real-time events now. So that may solve some of the things we're trying to do here. That would be interesting. Lord. Doggos. My 3 lady dogs. Well, now we're running into the dreaded. This is the thing that never had to happen with OpenAI. The compacting conversation. It used to be that the conversations would just stop. They were too long. Hello, doggers. Hi, Amy. Yeah. Hi, Liz. I got 9 dogs. I have 3. Oh, Amy, try again. Come on, Amy. There we go. Here's one of everybody's favorite dogs, Amy. Come on, Lizzo. Jump. Come on. Come on. There you go. And there's Lizzo. Come on, Squeaker. Squeaker teeny. Hi, Squeaks. You want to come up? Okay, let me get you. Yeah. Hi. Lots of dogs as we work. Well, I'm just polishing this now, Tawheed, which is to enable this to run on the front, to run automatically. But I will take that challenge that you had for data center and see if I can't come up with a way to make an MCP server for the data center docs, because that would be really powerful. And we could then enable the same sort of agentic loop. It's a little bit of a different process because of the build process and everything. But some of those things that we could do, let's see here. Of course. Yes, you can see my dog's attacking me now. So the idea is to use Forge real time, and then the front end refetches automatically. Install Forge real time, then do the publish event after analysis. So we're going to update that. Wraps a try catch, and a publish failure doesn't break the trigger. And then we'll subscribe to the real time channel. Okay. Well, shoot, let's try it. Excellent. Yeah, I wish that was my case. Well, maybe. I mean, we're doing some stuff on my company side where some of that stuff might be able to happen. Here we go. We're going to see how this pulls out. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, working with Codex will be it'll be a new opportunity, and we'll see what that's like. Okay, good. And I do have some additional things because one of the things is we do all of this, and then like, okay, so how did it work? Like, let's talk about that, and then one thing we can do is, I follow Simon Willison, who talks a lot about. He's written some tools to help LLMs show off what they built, and so that would be a really cool thing to look at next week too. Um, and I guess we could also try some of this with like RovoDev, the RovoDev CLI, and see how well it does, because that would also be interesting. I don't know where you live, but for me, I live on the West Coast, so I wake up bright and early to do work. Bright and early. So I'm in bed by 7:30 Pacific time. Otherwise, I will not get up at the time I need to. Let's see how this all works here. All right, we're type checking just fine. Our lints and everything are running. Okay, yes, let's deploy it. Oh, perfect. All right, it's deploying. Yes, yes, yes. A warning. Yep. Deployed 3.1.0. Okay. Here we go. So here's what we're going to do. Gotcha. All right, here we go. You see this here? I see this here. I'm going to grab, let me switch this back. Okay, we see that. Let's test this now. We did not get an automatic update. Oh, I wonder though if I have to be here like this. Okay, hold on. Oh, that would make sense. Okay. There it goes. There it went. Perfect. There it goes. Great. Excellent. That worked really well. Okay, I think we're at a place where we can deploy this probably, or where we can ship this. So, and it's just about the end of the day. So, again, Forge Fridays, I'll be doing more stuff on Friday. Check it out. It's actually going to be earlier in the day, so that may be better for you, Tawhid. It's going to be 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern, because Karen Smith, who's the principal product manager for Forge, will be on for that first hour. So, check that out, folks. Subscribe to the unofficial Atlassian Ecosystem Roundup. That's at unofficialroundup.com. Just that's where you can get my newsletter that comes out weekly. Covers all the stuff that Atlassian's been up to. It's going to go out today. And then we're going to continue. Like I said, we'll be back on Friday and do some more Forge stuff. And then next week on the clinic, I think we're going to jump into doing some DC stuff, as Tawhid talked about, along with hopefully picking up some of the stuff that Cassandra asked us to do in terms of cloud to cloud migrations. So looking forward to it with everybody. Have a great day. Take care.